Hello, mermaids and barnacle boys. My name is SpongeBob, and welcome back to another video. It's good to be back once again. Originally I wasn't really thinking about doing a YouTube video today, but I had really nothing else to do, so I was like, you know what? Why not do one for today to entertain you guys? And you're probably noticing something a little different. Yes, I finally have mats to add, a little bit more intricacy to, when I do videos. I'll actually show you them without the stand. Here it actually is right here. I have my water bottle right there. So I have two of these mats. There. Move that out of the way. See, this one right here. This one is from 2002. And this one right here, if I can show you it, it's from 2006. So let me just put the phone back. There we go. It actually looks really nice. Fits really well. It adds more design to my desk than just a plain just plain white, which gets a little boring every so often. But for today, we're gonna be doing some more reading, and today we're gonna be looking at this, the SpongeBob SquarePants Buried Treasure Tales from Bikini Bottom. Now I did review this book in my book collection video, but I didn't read all the stories because if I show you, just adjust it right here. There we go. Looks pretty nice. Open this up. This book contains total of 6 stories, and I actually have let's see if I can get this better. There you go. Well, that's good enough. So in the table of contents, I actually have like 4 of these books. I have The Amazing Sponge Bobby, Hands Off, Secret Valentine, SpongeBob, and The Princess, and that's it. The winner is, and Bombs Up Jokes are the only 2 that I don't have by themselves. Again, if you want to watch the video where I do my book collection, I'll put at the end of the video where you'll see it and such, or I'll put or you could just go through my channel, you'll find it, and you can watch the video if you so choose. But I'm doing another book video again because I actually really enjoy reading, and the video that I actually reviewed my collection on got a good amount of views. Same thing with the phonic reading program one. You guys seem to really enjoy it. Sorry, taking a water break here. So yeah, today we're gonna be reading all 6 of these. Yes, because why not? Because I actually really enjoy reading. I don't read too much, only when I get really bored or I have like nothing else to do at the end of the day. So sit back, relax, grab some snacks, put on the headphones, because your boy SpongeBob is about to do some reading. First off, with the amazing Sponge Bunny. Now I won't be doing like voices or like make them sound like how they are in the show, because it does get a little bit annoying. So I'm just gonna do this. Let's see if so I'm just gonna be talking my normal voice. So yeah, that being said, here is Sponge Bunny, the first one in this big book by Stephen Banks, illustrated by Heather Martinez. Get my voice up for this. Patrick, look, shouted SpongeBob. The Stingray Brothers and Barnacle Bay Shrimp Circus is coming. The greatest show under the sea. Too bad we don't live under the sea, said Patrick. I wish the circus would come to Bikini Bottom. Patrick, Bikini Bottom is under the sea, said SpongeBob. Patrick, you dingus. Oh, said Patrick, scratching his head. I always wonder why there are so many fish around here. Man, why they gotta make my boy Patrick like that, man? The next day, SpongeBob knocked on Patrick's rock. Patrick, it's circus time. We better leave now so we can get seats by the jugglers and clowns. Real live clowns, Patrick. Let's go. There was no answer. He knocked again. Patrick, called SpongeBob. SpongeBob lifted the rock and saw Patrick lying in bed. Patrick, what are you doing in bed? He asked. We're going to the circus. Patrick shook his head sadly. I can't go to the circus, SpongeBob. I'm sick. Don't worry, said SpongeBob. I know how to make you feel better. I'll sing you the Get Well song my grandma used to sing to me when I was sick. SpongeBob cleared his throat and began to sing. Get well, Patrick, don't be sick. This little song will do the trick. La 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 la, you'll feel better by the time I knit this sweater. I actually did pretty well. No, I'm not going to be doing songs anytime soon. Well, at least so, I don't know. Let's just keep reading. The song didn't work. Patrick was still sick. I know, I'll do the Get Well dance, said SpongeBob. He began to jump around Patrick's bed, but that didn't work either. Next, SpongeBob tried hypnotizing Patrick. Look deep into my eyes and listen to this soothing voice. You are not sick, Patrick. You will go to the circus and with your best friend, SpongeBob. True! Patrick sneezed. SpongeBob patted Patrick's head. Well, we gave it the good old boating school try. See you later, Patrick. I'm off to the most fabulous, amazing, colossal circus ever. Patrick grabbed SpongeBob. But you've got to stay here, he pleaded. You have to get sick too. Then we can be sick together and miss the circus together and not have any fun together. That sounds great, Patrick, said SpongeBob. But I'm not sick and I really, really, really want to see the circus. Fine, said Patrick. Go. I'll be sick and miss the circus and not have fun by myself. Great. I knew you understand, SpongeBob called over his shoulder. I'll bring some of those circus peanuts you love so much. SpongeBob gazed by the huge red circus tent. So that's why they call it the Big Top, he said as he handed over his ticket. SpongeBob hurried to his seat right next to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, called the ringmaster, welcome to the greatest show under the sea. It was the greatest show under the sea. There were acrobats and jugglers, trapeze artists and tightrope walkers, and they even shot a fish out of a cannon. SpongeBob was eating popcorn and watching the show. Wow, cried SpongeBob. Isn't this the greatest show you ever seen, Patrick? He turned and looked at the empty seat beside him. SpongeBob had forgotten that Patrick wasn't there. Oh, poor old SpongeBob. Why did Patrick have to get sick? Everyone was laughing at the clowns except for SpongeBob. He couldn't stop thinking about Patrick. He started to cry. I can't enjoy the circus while my best friend is home sick. Patrick needs me. I must return to his bedside and do what any self-respecting sponge would do for a friend in need. What a good old friend. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit more. No, I can. That's probably better. All right. Stop shaking. There we go. Patrick was asleep in bed, and suddenly he heard a voice outside that woke him up. Ladies and gentlemen, all starfish named Patrick, yelled the voice. My name is Patrick, thought Patrick, and I'm a starfish. He got out of bed and lifted his rod and couldn't believe what he saw. SpongeBob was wearing a top hat and a fake mustache. Welcome to the second grade show under the sea. SpongeBob, almost as good as a real circus, he announced. Patrick jumped up and down in excitement. Where is the circus? Where is it? Where? It's me, said SpongeBob. I'm the circus. Patrick looked puzzled. But you don't look like a circus. You look like SpongeBob. Just watch, said SpongeBob. Our first act will be SpongeBobby and the Amazing Juggler, said SpongeBob. I will attempt to balance 10 Krabby Patties on my head while juggling 5 spatulas. Excuse me. And now prepare yourself For the most defying tightrope walk of terror, he continued. Patrick hid under his pillow. That sounds scary. Tell me when it's over. I can't look. And now the amazing Sponge Bunny, I don't even say it, Sponge Buying, I think so, will swallow a clarinet, said SpongeBob. Don't try this at home, kids. Too late, mumbled Patrick, and Squidward is running over to these fools. SpongeBob performed all the different acts he had seen at the circus. And now, for the grand finale, a brave, handsome soul that will be shot out of a cannon, announced SpongeBob. Be careful, brave, handsome soul, shouted Patrick. SpongeBob took a final bow. Exhausted, Patrick clapped and cheered. That was a great circus, SpongeBob. I wish I could have been to see it. Now you sit down and I'll show you what you missed. SpongeBob smiled. Wait a minute, aren't you sick? He asked. Not anymore, shouted Patrick. The circus cured me. That was a nice story, and that is just 1 out of 6. Next up is Hands Off. See SpongeBob holding some bubble blowers of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. This one is by David Luhmann, illustrated by C.H. Greenblatt and William Rez. Man, my armpits are sweating. Sorry, it's summertime, got really hot, You know how summer is. Sorry for that. I'll put that right there. You won't see it, so don't worry. SpongeBob was playing with his best friend, Patrick. He slid down Patrick's rod, spat over to Squidward's house, and ran up the side. Beat that, yelled SpongeBob happily. That's my fastest time yet. Squidward leaned out of his window. Well, you two be quiet, he said, snarling. I'm trying to practice my clarinet. But Squidward, we're having a really fun game, Patrick explained. See, you slide down my rug, and then you zip over to your house and run up the side. I know what you're doing, said Squidward, interrupting. Just stop it. You're being too loud. Why don't you play with us, Squidward? Asked SpongeBob. It's fun. Squidward noticed the mailman pulling up to SpongeBob's house. Why, look, SpongeBob, he said, pointing. Isn't that the mailman at your house? Looks like he's carrying a box. A box? SpongeBob shouted. That's just what I've been waiting for. SpongeBob carefully opened the box. At last, he whispered, Do you realize what this is, Patrick? Patrick nodded. I have no idea, he said slowly. SpongeBob trembled with excitement. This, he explained, is a genuine Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy bubble blower, and it's original packaging. Wow, said Patrick. What does that mean? SpongeBob gently lifted the bubble blower and stared at it. I've been trying to find one of these for years. Isn't it great? See Patrick kind of scratching his head over there. Patrick jumped up and down with excitement. I love Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Come on, SpongeBob, let's blow some bubbles. I'll bet they be the best bubbles in the whole world. SpongeBob looked shocked. Blow some bubbles? But Patrick, we can't open this. We have to leave it in its original packaging. Patrick scratched his head. Why? What good is a toy if you can't play with it? I know that feeling. I've been there. SpongeBob smiled. Oh, Patrick, he said, this isn't just a toy. It's a collectible toy for collecting, not playing. Patrick was still confused. But then, what do you do with it? Lock it in the closets, explained SpongeBob. Or maybe, on special occasions, display it on a shelf. Patrick stared at the bubble blower. Can I put it on my shelf, SpongeBob? He asked. Patrick, said SpongeBob, you don't have a shelf. I could build one, said SpongeBob. Sorry, said Patrick. Then I can look at the bubble blower, corrected SpongeBob. Wow, that was a tongue twister. As I fall asleep, continued Patrick. Please, he pleaded. just for one night. I'll be your best friend. You already are my best friend, said SpongeBob. Then SpongeBob thought hard. He decided that best friends can share all their things, even their favorite things. Alright, you can borrow the bubble blower for one night, he said. Hurry, yelled Patrick as he grabbed the package and ran off. SpongeBob shouted after him, remember, don't open it. No. At nighttime, SpongeBob got ready for bed. Good night, Gary, he said. I sure am glad I let Patrick borrow my new bubble blower. That's what best friends do. I got really confused on that part right there. Meow, said Gary. I'm sure he'll be extra careful with it, said SpongeBob. He patted Gary and climbed to bed. As he laid in bed, SpongeBob started to worry about all the things Patrick might be doing with the bubble blower. Has he taken it out of the package? Was he using up all the soap bubbles? Or was he doing something really terrible, like breaking the and bubble wand? The look on Gary's face gets me every time. SpongeBob couldn't take anymore. He got up, put on his clothes, and went downstairs. Gary followed him. Sorry, Gary, said SpongeBob. I'm not taking you for a walk. I'm just going to sneak over to Patrick's house and make sure everything's okay with my new bubble blower. Gary frowned. Don't give me that look, said SpongeBob. SpongeBob creeped past Squidward's house as he tiptoed up to Patrick's rock. He thought about his precious bubble blower. Please let it be in the box. Please let it be in the box. Please let it be in the box, he thought out loud. SpongeBob entered Patrick's house as quietly as he could. Patrick was asleep and snoring loudly. SpongeBob spotted the bubble blower on Patrick's new shelf. It was fine. Patrick hadn't broken it. He had even opened it. I should have trusted him, said SpongeBob. See you in the morning, pals, whispered SpongeBob very quietly. But as he turned to go, he tripped over a shell and fell with a loud crash. Patrick sat up wide awake. SpongeBob, he yelled, what are you doing here? I'm sorry, Patrick, said SpongeBob embarrassed. I was just, well, I guess I was just a teensy bit worried about my Merryman Barnacle Boy bubble blower. Patrick quickly put on his shorts. He was shocked. Do you mean you didn't trust me? Your best friend? That's terrible. I can't believe it. I need a water break. Hold on. Alright, back into it. Patrick was so upset that he started waving his arms and jumping up and down. He started knocking over things, sending things crashing on the ground. My own best friend not trust me, he yelled. I would never, ever break anything of yours. Who do you think I am? Careless? Patrick, please, called SpongeBob. You're breaking all your stuff. Patrick stopped and looked around all the things he'd broken. Gee, SpongeBob, I guess I am a little bit careless, he said. You're right to be worried. You better take your bubble blower home before I break it. Patrick walked over the bubble blower, tripped and almost knocked it off the shelf. You pick it up, he cried. I shouldn't even touch it. I'm just a big clumsy oaf. SpongeBob picked up the bubble blower and started to walk out of the house. But then he stopped and turned around. Come on, Patrick, he yelled. Follow me. Patrick quickly followed. Outside, SpongeBob began to take the packaging off the bubble blower. SpongeBob, Patrick yelled, what are you doing? What good is a bubble blower if you can't blow bubbles with it? Asked SpongeBob. Want to play with it? I sure do, said Patrick. SpongeBob dipped the wand into the bubble liquid and handed it to Patrick. Here, Patrick, he said. You can blow the first bubble. Patrick, sorry. Wow, said Patrick as his eyes widened. The first bubble. The first blubble. Bubble. Excuse me. Patrick blew a big bubble, and then SpongeBob blew one, and they continued to blow bubbles into the wee hours of the morning. Squidward didn't get much sleep that night. Man, that was a little difficult. Some of them were like a bit of a tongue twister to me. Oh, man. It's fun reading. Not gonna lie, it is fun, reading these, but, sometimes it could just be a little bit difficult for me because, like I said, I don't read that much. I'm really just doing this for entertainment purposes for you kids. So, yeah. Sorry, a little warm. It is very hot out. So, next up, SpongeBob's Secret Valentine by David Lumen, illustrated by Heather Martinez. Ready, Gary? Asked SpongeBob. His pet snail looked up and blinked. Okay, fetch, yelled SpongeBob as he lobbed a ball of kelp over Gary's head. Meow, said Gary, watching it fly by. Good effort, Gary, said SpongeBob, enthused. Oh, wow, words! Enthusiastic. Oh my God, I can't talk. Enthusiastically. Man, that is a hard word for me, man. I am so sorry. I'm really trying my best here. Woof. Wow, okay. Alright, moving on. Alright, Sandy walked up with the kelp splattered all over her helmet. Hi, SpongeBob. Is this yours? Sure is, Sandy, he asked. Want to play fetch with Gary and me? Sandy scraped the blob off her helmet and tossed it to him. Sorry, SpongeBob, but I have to get home and make a special Valentine for tomorrow. Adios. Did you hear that, Gary? Said SpongeBob. I bet that special Valentine Sandy's making is for me. I better start making one for her. You like Sandy? Bellowed Patrick, who had crept up behind SpongeBob, startling him. Of course I like Sandy, Patrick. She's my friend. No, you really like her, said Patrick. If a boy gives a girl a Valentine, it's a really huge deal. SpongeBob looks puzzled. What do you mean? Now you'll have to spend all your time with Sandy and you won't have any time for any of your friends, Patrick explained. Oh, SpongeBob, I'll miss you, little buddy. With that, he ran off, crying. Patrick, wait, come back. SpongeBob turned to Gary and shrugged. Gary, it's hard to believe, but I think Patrick might be wrong. On the other hand, I really didn't want to lose any friends. SpongeBob thought hard. Then he snapped his fingers. I know, I'll ask Squidward. He was taking a shower. SpongeBob knocked on Squidward's door. Squidward, open up. It's an emergency. Squidward opened the door, and a panicked, dripping wet from his bath. What? What's the emergency? He asked, panting. Squidward, do you think I should give Sandy a Valentine tomorrow? Squidward just stared at SpongeBob. Then he slammed the door. That was just rude. Can't give any advice. Gee. Squidward seems busy, said SpongeBob. Maybe I'll ask Mr. Krabs. At the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs leaned back in his chair. Sure, SpongeBob. I'll be glad to give you some advice. Save every penny you make, SpongeBob interrupted him. I don't need advice about money, Mr. Krabs. I need advice about a girl. Mr. Krabs leaned up and yelled, Stay away from me, only dollars, SpongeBob. SpongeBob looked confused. I'm not talking about Pearl, Mr. Krabs. I'm talking about Sandy. Oh, said Mr. Krabs, waving his brow. That's a relief. What seems to be the problem? SpongeBob explained the whole Valentine situation. Replied Mr. Krabs, scratching his chin. As she is a land creature, there's really no telling what Sandy will think of your Valentine. I suggest you go over to her treatum. SpongeBob brightened up. To ask her? No, said Mr. Krabs. Do spy on her. SpongeBob disguised himself as a piece of coral and sneaked up to Sandy's treatum. Then very quietly, He pressed his face against the glass. He looked all around but didn't see Sandy anywhere. Oh, tar sauce, said SpongeBob. She must be inside her treehouse. I've got to go in. SpongeBob opened and closed the door to the dome as quietly as he could and shimmed up the tree. He peeked through the window and saw Sandy making a huge red valentine. Suddenly her nose twitched. I smell salt water, she said. Either my dome sprung a leak or there's an intruder. SpongeBob scrambled down the side of the tree out of the dome as fast as he could. He could hear Sandy behind him yelling, "You'll never get away, you thieving varmint." But he did get away, just barely. SpongeBob slammed the front door behind him and leaned up against it, breathing hard. I've got to get to work," he told Gary. "Sandy's making me the biggest valentine I've ever seen. I don't care what Patrick says. I'm going to make one for her." SpongeBob dove into his closet and came out with his arms full of materials. Then he flew into action, drawing, cutting, and pasting until the sun came up over Bikini Bottom. Sweating. Why am I always sweating when reading? "I'm ready," he shouted at last, holding up a big, beautiful valentine with Sandy's name on it. SpongeBob ran over to Sandy's place with the valentine. Just as he reached to retrieve him, Sandy came out carrying her huge valentine. "Hey, Sandy," said SpongeBob, grinning. "It's quite a valentine you got there. It must be for someone special." "Pretty special, sorry." Lost track there. Sandy nodded. "Yep, it sure is, SpongeBob. My mother's a very special lady." Mother?" said SpongeBob, stuttering. "That's great, Sandy." He tried to keep his big fancy valentine hidden behind his back. "Who was that valentine for, SpongeBob?" asked Sandy. SpongeBob shifted his feet uneasily. What valentine?" "That one that has Sandy on it," he said. Blushing, SpongeBob handed her the valentine. "It's for you, Sandy, but I didn't really want to mean anything like that. I don't want to get to see Patrick or anyone or..." "Gosh, SpongeBob," said Sandy, smiling. "This valentine's purer than a Texas barbecue on the 4th of July. Sandy held the valentine up, admiring. Then she frowned. "You know what this means, SpongeBob?" SpongeBob looked nervous. "No," Sandy asked. "What does it mean?" "It means I've got to thank you for challenging you to a karate match." "Wow," thought SpongeBob. "My friendship with Sandy hasn't changed a bit. Patrick was wrong." "Hee-yah!" yelled Sandy, flashing through the air. "Hee-yah!" screamed SpongeBob, and they spent the rest of Valentine's Day happily chopping away at each other. Wasn't that nice? Honestly, I'm not a big person when it comes down to Valentine's Day, so I really can care less. Water break. I think this is which one is this? Let me look back. So we've done Amazing Smudge Boy, Hands Off, Secret Valentine, and then we have this one, and then just two more left. SpongeBob and the Princess and Bombs Up, Jokes from Bikini Bottom. So we're almost done. Just hang in there. But this is very fun. And the winner is by Jimmy Miguel's, illustrated by Cal Manier, based on the teleplay Big Pink. Yeah, so basically this story right here is based off the episode Big Pink Loser. And you'll hear some other people right here. One morning, Patrick received a package in the mail. It was a trophy. He could barely contain his excitement. "My very own first reward," he cried with glee. "I've got to show SpongeBob." Patrick followed through SpongeBob's front door. He cleared his throat and breathed out loud. "For outstanding achievement, SpongeBob SquarePants? Huh? That's a funny way to spell my name." SpongeBob looked down at his feet. Patrick, Must be some mistake, he said. That award is for me. But I've never won an award before, Patrick whined. It's so shiny. I've got something else that's shiny in my coat closet. A button, said SpongeBob. You can have it. Goody, I'll get it, Patrick cried. He threw open the door of a nearby closet. Awards and trophies of all shapes and sizes tumbled out. Not there, SpongeBob cried. That's my award closet, he mumbled. Okay. Well, I won an award, Patrick wailed. I'm not good at anything. SpongeBob wrapped his arms around Patrick's shoulder. But you're Patrick Star, he exclaimed. You can do anything you set your mind to. Okay, I want to defeat the giant monkey man and save the 9th dimension, Patrick said. That's too big. Something smaller, SpongeBob said. Defeat the little monkey man and save the 9th dimension? Patrick asked. SpongeBob sighed. The smallest thing you can think of, he said. Patrick thought for a moment. A job with Krusty Krab? Great idea, said SpongeBob. Let's go. It was nice of Mr. Krabs to give me a job here. Do I get my award yet? Patrick asked as he ate a Krabby Patty. You have to work for it, SpongeBob said, reminding him. Pick up this order and take it to the customers, he instructed. Patrick picked up the food and walked towards the table in the back. But just as he reached it, he tripped, spilling Krabby Patties all over the floor. Good try, SpongeBob said, but next time, make sure the food actually gets to the customer. See, right here, Patrick, slipping, on, like, I assume water, everything's going everywhere. Mr. Krabs is angry, and SpongeBob's like, oh boy. And you can see these two customers not really having it. Why don't you answer the phones? SpongeBob suggested. Aye, Captain, Patrick explained as the first call rang in. Is this the Krusty Krab? The customer asked on the line. No, this is Patrick. Patrick replied and hung up. The phone rang again. Ring, ring. Hello, is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. And I'm not a Krusty Krab. SpongeBob shook his head. That's the name of the restaurant, Patrick. Oh, fish paste, Patrick said with a sigh. I can't do anything. Such a classic scene. Sure you can, Patrick, SpongeBob encouraged. You can, you're good at, You couldn't think of anything. I've got it. I bet you know. Wow, words. I bet you know how to open a jar. SpongeBob took a jar of tartar sauce from the shelf and unscrewed the lid. It's easy. Now you try. First get a jar. Patrick rode around in the refrigerator and emerged holding something that was clearly not a jar. Patrick, that's a pickle, SpongeBob said patiently. I know this is something different, but I want to do like the episode. So stop it. After a few tries, Patrick finally found a jar of jellyfish jelly. Good. Now try to do exactly as I do. Exactly, said SpongeBob as he demonstrated. Exactly, Patrick repeated as he turned the lid until it popped off. Oh no, I broke it. No, Patrick, you did it, SpongeBob explained. Good job. I did? Patrick asked with disbelief. I opened the jar with my own hand, and that was all because you showed me how to do it, SpongeBob? Patrick, if you do exactly what I do, you'll have an award in no time. The next day, Patrick greeted SpongeBob outside his house. Wow, said SpongeBob. It's amazing how a simple change of clothes can make a guy look just like me. He did a double take. Huh? Patrick straightened his tie. If I'm going to be a winner, I've got to dress like one, he declared. That's creepy, but flattering. Hey, good episode. Okay, Patrick, whatever you say, SpongeBob said with a shrug. Are you ready for work? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, Patrick chanted. Oops, I forgot my hat, so SpongeBob. Oops, me too, Patrick said. Come on, SpongeBob. Come on, SpongeBob said. Back to the old grind. Come on, back to the old grind, Patrick repeated. Why are you copying me? He asked Patrick. Why are you copying me? Patrick repeated. I want to win awards just like you, SpongeBob. Well, it's annoying, so stop it, SpongeBob cried. Patrick shrugged his shoulders. Stop it, he mumbled under his breath. Ugh, SpongeBob screamed. Then he had an idea. Hi, my name is Patrick Star, he said. I'm the laziest, pinkest starfish Bikini Bottom, and I wish I were me and not SpongeBob. But this time Patrick didn't imitate SpongeBob. What's so great about being a big pink nobody? I was never closer to an award than the minute I started copying you, he said and hung his head. Then just the delivery truck pulled up. Trophy delivery, the truck driver called out. Must be an award for SpongeBob Trophy Pants, Patrick snarled. What is it this time? Pure squareness? SpongeBob took the trophy and held it up to the light. For doing absolutely nothing longer than anyone else, he read, Patrick Star. SpongeBob couldn't believe his eyes. Patrick, this trophy is for you. For me? Patrick gasped. I always knew I would win an award. So what are you going to do with it now that you've won it? Said SpongeBob asked. Patrick propped himself up against the trophy. Nothing, of course, said SpongeBob. I've got to protect my title. Now, if you actually seen the episode, this book right here, the story is very similar. Yeah, next up, SpongeBob and the Princess. Actually, one of my favorite books to read when, I was a very young kid. A water break. Alright, let's get going. And this one's by David Lumen and illustrated by Clint Bond. At the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob was happily pushing a mop across the floor. I'm mopping that crusty floor, he sang to himself. SpongeBob, yelled Mr. Krabs. Going to count me beautiful money, said Mr. Krabs. So no visitors. Got that. Aye, aye, Captain, said SpongeBob, just as a loud truck pulled up outside. Honk, honk. Welcome to the outside of the Krusty Krab. May I help you? SpongeBob shouted to the driver, trying to make himself heard over the noise of the truck. Where's Mr. Krabs? The driver asked, counting his money, so he's not to be disturbed, answered SpongeBob. Maybe I can help you? What? Yelled the driver. SpongeBob cupped his ears to his mouth. Maybe I can help you. Tell Mr. Krabs that Princess Napkins will be here tomorrow, said the driver. What? Yelled SpongeBob. Princess delivery will be here tomorrow, the driver shouted back. Got it, said SpongeBob, giving a big thumbs up. The driver drove off. Hop and clam, said SpongeBob. Wait till Squidward hears this. SpongeBob burst into the Krusty Krab. Guess what, Squidward? A princess will be here tomorrow. Squidward didn't look up. What princess would be caught dead in this dump? He asked gloomy. But then he brightened. Unless it's Princess Neptuna. Doesn't seem likely for once, SpongeBob. I believe you. I love royalty. They are so royal. SpongeBob grinned. Can't wait to tell Patrick and Sandy and Mrs. Puff. And Squidward shook his head. No, don't tell anyone. Royal people love their privacy. Squidward figured he had a much better chance of getting Princess Neptuna's autograph if no one else was around. Really? Said SpongeBob, puzzled. I thought princesses love crowds. Squidward sniffed. One commoner. You know nothing about royalty. SpongeBob thought hard. Well, I have to tell Mr. Krabs. No, yelled Squidward. He'll ruin everything. But Squidward, says SpongeBob, it's my duty as a Krusty Krab employee. Squidward puts his arm around SpongeBob. Listen, SpongeBob, he said, would you like to teach me how you behave around royalty? SpongeBob's eyes grew big. You teach me, Squidward? Of course, said Squidward, smiling. Tonight, asked SpongeBob. His eyes grew even bigger. Okay, said Squidward. At your house, SpongeBob's eyes were huge. With snacks, Squidward swallowed hard. Sure, SpongeBob. I'm inviting you to my house for royalty lessons and snacks. Hooray! SpongeBob shouted. I'll be there, and tomorrow the princess will be here. In the office, Mr. Krabs heard SpongeBob shouting. Better see the employees are up to, he said, hurrying over to a picture on the wall. He lifted and peered through a peephole just in time to hear SpongeBob say, tomorrow the princess will be here. Princess? Whispered Mr. Krabs. Princesses are rich, and people love to see them. People who could be my paying customers. All I have to do is let everybody know a princess is coming to the Krusty Krab tomorrow. That night, Squidward tried to teach SpongeBob how to act properly around a princess. No, SpongeBob, he snarled. Never giggle when to bow Princess Neptuna. But Squidward, said SpongeBob, I can't help it. Patrick looks kind of funny. Patrick adjusted his crown. Gee, thanks a lot, SpongeBob, he said. I think I look beautiful. Meanwhile, Mr. Krabs was busy putting up signs all over Bikini Bottom, announcing Princess Neptuna's arrival at the Krusty Krab. He chuckled to himself. This ought to bring in the customers, he said, and their money. As SpongeBob approached the Krusty Krab the next morning, he saw almost all of Bikini Bottom waiting outside. Gee, he said, there's sure a lot of people hungry for delicious Krabby Patties today. Just then, Squidward showed up. Oh no, he cried. They all must be here to see Princess Neptuna. He angrily turned to SpongeBob. You blabbled to everyone about the princess? No, Squidward, answered SpongeBob. I was over at your house, remember? Squidward scrunched up his face in his confusion. Then how did they all found out? Right this way, begged Mr. Krabs. This way to see the princess. Customers with money only. The truck from the other day pulled up. An eager SpongeBob ran over. When will the princess be here? He whispered. The driver scratched his head and gave SpongeBob a blank look. Yesterday you told me to tell Mr. Krabs. A princess will be here tomorrow, explained SpongeBob. The driver stared at SpongeBob and then started laughing. I said the princess delivery will be here tomorrow. You know, Princess Napkins. SpongeBob's mouth dropped open. You mean Princess Neptuna isn't coming? Nope. The driver replied, unloading several boxes onto the ground. But here are your napkins. See ya. SpongeBob stared at the boxes. What good are napkins when I promised everyone a princess? He thought out loud. SpongeBob spotted Patrick walking by. Patrick, he said, glad to see you. I need you to dress up as the princess again to fool that big crowd for customers. Patrick shook his head. No way, SpongeBob. Last night you said I looked funny. Yeah, but SpongeBob sputtering. No buts about it, said Patrick stubbornly. I'm not going to look ridiculous in front of all these people. And he put on his beanie propeller hat and turned to walk away. But Patrick, SpongeBob begged, who am I going to get to be the princess? Man, I'm having a little trouble right now. Sorry about that. Hello, loyal subjects from Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob called to the crowd. I am your princess. Everyone turned and stared at SpongeBob. That's Princess Neptuna? Someone shouted. Of course I am, squeaked SpongeBob. Well, it's sure been great to see you. And now if you'll excuse me. That's not our princess, said a guy with a very loud voice. That's just some guy dressed up in a princess costume. The crowd murmured angrily. Get him. they yelled. Everyone started to rush towards SpongeBob. Before the crowd reached SpongeBob, a magnificent boat pulled up. A magnificent boat. Wow, I can't talk. A magnificent boat pulled up. Door opened, and a princess climbed out. Hello, everyone, she said, smiling and waving. I'm Princess Neptuna. SpongeBob hoped he could remember the loyalty lessons Squidward had given him. He bowed several times and got down on one knee. Taking her hand in his, SpongeBob said, Hello, Princess Neptuna. What brings you to our humble establishment, the Krusty Krab? Well, she answered, I saw the crowd, so I stopped to see what was going on. I just love crowds. Princess Neptuna signed autographs for everyone, including Squidward. She even tried a Krabby Patty. This Krabby Patty is a delicious morsel, SpongeBob she said, but it's a little messy. SpongeBob brought over a box. How would you like your very own box of princess napkins? He asked. Princess smiled. Sure know how to treat a princess, SpongeBob. Okay, I think this is the last one, which is just a bunch of jokes called Bottoms Up, by David Lumen. See, everyone, SpongeBob, Squidward, Sandy, and Patrick, all, upside down and such. See, right here. Are you ready for some nonsense? Knock, knock, who's there? Me. Me who? Meow. It must be Gary. What? Oh, okay. Like, I was confused, like, reading it. I was like, huh? How does SpongeBob begin bedtime stories for a pet snail, Gary? Once upon a slime. That's terrible. Why would SpongeBob move his alarm clock onto a barrel? He wanted to get it off his chest. Real funny. What is SpongeBob's work motto? If at first you don't succeed, fry again. What snacks goes best with an underwater lunch? A bag of potato drips. What position would Mr. Krabs play if he went on a basketball team? Pitch hitter. What's the first thing that students learn at boating school? Their ABCs. These are not really that funny, to be honest. Why would SpongeBob bring a football to school? Because he really wanted to pass. Boring. Where do fish go when they're not in school? Summer damp. Why would SpongeBob and Patrick climb onto the fishermen's lines? They were playing hooky. Why would Patrick bring some nose plugs to go jellyfishing? He thought they were going smelly fishing. Why would SpongeBob bring musical instruments to Jellyfish Fields? Because jellyfish love to jam. What is Sandy's favorite carnival ride? The Tilt-a-Squirrel. What? I don't know. Wait, is there supposed to be like... Oh, okay, sorry. What does Sandy like to do on her computer? Surf the internet. What does Sandy call two trees floating in the ocean? Swimming trunks. What's SpongeBob's favorite sport? Spongy jumping. What does Plankton surf on? Microwaves. Why did Pearl get all dressed up to go to Goo Lagoon? She heard there was a beach ball. Why did Squidward squirt ink at SpongeBob? He was just squirting around. Ew. Why did Squidward buy this house? He wanted to get ahead. What happened when SpongeBob karate chopped Squidward? He flipped his squid. That's just okay. Knock knock, who's there? Toodle, toodle who? You're leaving so soon? SpongeBob! And the end. Alright. That is basically it for this book. I know this was a pretty long video, but honestly, kind of enjoyed it. You know, I'm not a big fan of reading, but I do enjoy, you know, reading some short stories like this, especially if it's like, you know, SpongeBob and such. If you want me to do, you know, more book videos in the future, let me know, because I'll be gladly to do so. I know I kind of stuttered and messed up on, you know, some parts of the reading, but, you know, not everyone is a talented reader, and, you know, I'm not really an author, so, yeah, well, what more can you do? But yeah, that is basically it for today's video. Again, if you like what you see here and you want to see more of it, you know what to do. Click the subscribe button to join along. Click the bell notification so you stay notified when I make new videos. Like the video, comment what you think of it, you know, share with your friends, family, pets, animals, whoever you want. And I'll be seeing all you lovely people in the next video. Bye-bye!